is CNN Breaking News.
Hello everyone. Our coverage of Hurricane Irma continues in just a moment, but we're also following the breaking news out of Mexico, where we're getting initial reports of a powerful earthquake striking in the sea off the coast of Chiapas, Mexico. The U.S. Geological Survey says it is a magnitude 8 tremor felt as far away as Mexico City. Yana Persley of the U.S. Geological Survey joins me on the line now. Yana, thank you for being with us. What more can you tell us about this magnitude 8 quake?
Good evening. The earthquake struck about 11:49 p.m. off the coast of Chiapas, Mexico. At this point, the magnitude is still 8.0. It will be likely adjusted as the time goes on and we get more data. The quake is shallow. It has the potential of causing tsunami for the coast of Mexico and Central America, possibly South America as well.
Okay. It was shallow, you make that point. It was a magnitude 8 quake. Looking at just those two data points, what are the expectations? What's the possibility here for severe damage? Because, you know, our viewers at home hear that magnitude 8 quake and they think, wow, that was a big one.
That is a big one. The shaking along the coast of Chiapas at this point is estimated to be very strong to severe. We do not have any information as of yet as of the potential for casualties and damage, but I would expect damage along the coast of Chiapas.
Okay. We're looking at possible tsunamis. You mentioned it is quite a broad field. Have you issued watches, warnings? I mean, what is the status there?
We do not. The USGS doesn't issue tsunami warnings. However, I am reading in the information from the tsunami.gov website, and they are expecting that the possibility up to 3 meters of tsunami hitting Mexico.
Okay. What can you tell us about the terrain? I know this was off the coast, but as we talk about Chiapas, what can you tell us about the landscape and what we're looking at here as we try and get some kind of handle on the kind of damage we may be looking at?
It is definitely not a flat land. It's mountainous, so you might get secondary effects such as landslides, rock slides, triggered by the earthquake.
And what are we seeing in terms of aftershocks? Are we seeing any at this moment?
We're seeing aftershocks. They will be coming in slowly as the coda, the long period from the first quake, the main shock, are basically obliterating the signal from these higher frequency events.
So explain what you mean by that.
The earthquakes, when they are this big, magnitude 8.8, and they are shallow, the surface waves they create have a very long period. They are very large. They are the ones that cause the shaking, the damage. The smaller aftershocks, they have a lot more higher frequency. And so, you know, it takes a bit more work to find them in that coda.
Sure. So that's, if I'm understanding you correctly, that's not to say they're not taking place. It's just that you haven't detected them because of the strength of the initial quake. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
As the time goes on, they'll be a lot more visible. Right now, we're still seeing the large waves from the first main shock.
Okay. You mentioned the shaking felt in Chiapas. We understand this quake was strong enough to have been felt all the way in Mexico City and Guatemala City.
That's right.
Do you have any information?
Large enough that it's large enough that it's going to be felt that far away.
Okay, large enough that it will be felt that far away. In terms of the data that you will be looking at in terms of the hours ahead, what is it you will be keeping an eye out for?
We will be working aftershocks to determine basically the rupture area of this earthquake, and we'll be definitely keeping an eye on what the tsunami has been along the coast.
Okay. Yana Percy, we appreciate you joining us and giving us the information you have at this point in time. We know this is a developing story and you're working to get more data. So thank you for joining us at this point in time. I want to go right now to our own Karen McGuinness, a meteorologist in Atlanta, who is following not just Irma, because we are keeping an eye on Irma, but also what is happening in Mexico off the coast. Karen, talk to us about what you are seeing. Give us your perspective of what has taken place. This magnitude 8 quake off the coast of Mexico.
This is really an amazing event because around the globe, you just do not see 8 magnitude earthquakes that often. In fact, around the globe, you might average 1 a year. Now, granted, this is off the coast. This is south of Oaxaca, the state of Oaxaca. Here is Mexico City. This is the epicenter of that earthquake. They did feel it in Mexico City. It is a very vulnerable area. We think that there may, in fact, be perhaps a localized tsunami. We're still kind of evaluating that as we speak. I have my meteorologist and producer over here, and she is looking at that. There's a localized tsunami, and I'm not sure about what the height on that tsunami might be. Perhaps a meter or so is my estimate at this point, but we'll still stay on top of that for you. This was 8 magnitude, about 35 kilometers deep. So it wasn't shallow. It wasn't deep. Shallow might be about 6 kilometers. Deep might be 100 kilometers. So this is 35 kilometers deep. This is along a trench area where you might expect trench, meaning we're watching the water depths go down rather dramatically. All right, let's show you what the magnitude of 8 or greater magnitude, what you would see around the world. It is it's referred to as a great earthquake as opposed to a major earthquake. And typically around the globe, you would only see one of these. And the fact that this has happened tonight, just off the coast or south of the Oaxaca state in Mexico, is very significant. Our other big story is Hurricane Irma.